There was a 4.1 magnitude earthquake in St. Elizabeth. A light earthquake that originated 10 kilometers northwest of Santa Cruz in St. Elizabeth just after 9 o'clock this morning was felt in sections of Kingston and St. Andrew. According to the earthquake unit at the University of the West Indies, the 4.1 magnitude earthquake was felt in the halfway tree and 3 miles area. The quake had a focal depth of 18.7 kilometers. What to do after an earthquake? Expect aftershocks hours, days, or weeks after the main earthquake. Aftershocks can cause building damage and falling debris that could injure you. Avoid open flames in damaged buildings. Earthquakes can damage gas lines, so do not use lighters or matches. If you live near the coast, stay away from the beach. Earthquakes can cause dangerous tsunamis and flooding. Drive carefully and plan alternative routes. Structural damage and traffic light outages may make it difficult to get to your destination. In June 2020, a powerful earthquake shook southern Mexico and left 2 persons without their lives. This powerful earthquake hit the southern Mexico resort of Acapulco and took 2 lives. It swayed buildings in Mexico City and sent thousands fleeing out of the city. On June 14th, the earthquake unit confirmed that a magnitude of 3.7 tremor was felt in sections of the island of Jamaica. At 2:52 a.m., the earthquake's epicenter was 7 kilometers north of Penly Castle, St. Thomas, with a focal depth of 20 kilometers. Reports were that the quake was also felt in sections of St. Catherine, Kingston, and St. Andrew. There were no reports of any serious damage or injuries from the jolt. There have been many earthquakes in the Caribbean this year, most of them with a magnitude greater than 4.2. That happened in the Caribbean region, mostly in January. Of course, areas that have been affected by earthquakes include Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Cayman Islands, the British Virgin Islands, Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Jamaica, and Dominica. The vast majority of these earthquakes were experienced in Puerto Rico. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration records, the earthquake experienced in the Cayman Islands and in Jamaica is now the strongest on record for the Caribbean region since the 1946 earthquake off the coast of the Dominican Republic. This earthquake happened on January 28th. For those who are concerned that these events are interrelated, there is something amiss. You can breathe a sigh of relief. According to the geophysicists, there is no correlation between the events. The Caribbean plates are moving in different directions, and this has contributed to it being highly seismic. These earthquakes have nothing in common other than their geological cause. Caribbean islands are prone to quakes because they stand along the fault lines of the Caribbean plate, one of the sections of the Earth's crust and mantle that are constantly pushing and grinding against each other. As tensions build up and are released in a sudden shift by one plate or the other, an earthquake happens in the Caribbean region. Here are some earthquake tips. First, drop down. Take cover under a desk or table and hold on. Stay indoors until the shaking stops and you're sure it's safe to exit. Stay away from bookcases or furniture that can fall on you. Stay away from windows. In a high-rise building, expect the fire alarms and sprinklers to go off during an earthquake. If you are in bed, hold on and stay there. Protect your head with a pillow. If you are outdoors, find a clear spot away from buildings, trees, and power lines. Drop to the ground. For the earthquake, learn how to survive during the ground motion. Also, the earthquake safety tips will help you to prepare for the fast action that is required to survive the earthquake. Most earthquakes are over in seconds, so knowing what to do instinctively is very important. Next, teach all members of your family about earthquake safety. This includes the actions you should take when an earthquake occurs, the safe places in a room such as under a strong desk, along interior walls, and the places to avoid such as near windows, large mirrors, hanging objects, heavy furniture, and fireplaces. Stock up on emergency supplies. These include battery-operated radios. Please bring extra batteries as well. Ensure you have flashlights and extra batteries. Make sure you have a first aid kit, bottled water, 2-week supply of food and medical supplies, blankets, cooking fuel, tools needed to turn off your gas, water, and electric utilities. Arrange your home for safety. Store heavy objects on lower shelves and store breakable objects in cabinets with latched doors. Do not hang heavy mirrors or pictures above where people frequently sit or sleep. Anchor heavy appliances and furniture such as water heaters, refrigerators, and bookcases. Store flammable liquids away from potential ignition sources such as water heaters, stoves, and furnaces. Get educated. Learn what to do during an earthquake. Then you will be ready for the fast action that is required. Make sure that all members of your family have this very important education. Learn where the main turn-offs are for your water, gas, and electricity. Know how to turn them off and the location of any needed tools. If you are indoors, stay indoors. These are tips that you should take and use during an earthquake. Quickly move to a safe location in the room, such as under a strong desk, a strong table, or along an interior wall. The goal is to protect yourself from falling objects and be located near the structural strong points of the room. Avoid taking cover near windows, large mirrors, hanging objects, heavy furniture, or heavy appliances or fireplaces. If you are cooking, turn off the stove and take cover. If you are outdoors, move to an open area where falling objects are unlikely to strike you. Move away from buildings, power lines, and trees. If you are driving, slow down smoothly and stop on the side of the road. Avoid stopping on or under bridges and overpasses, or under power lines, trees, and/or large signs. Stay in your car. After an earthquake, check for and attend to injuries if needed. Help ensure the safety of people around you as well. Check for damage. If your building is badly damaged, you should leave it until it has been inspected by a safety professional. If you smell or hear a gas leak, get everyone outside and open windows and doors. If you can do it safely, turn off the gas at the meter. Report the leak to the gas company and the fire department. Do not use any electrical appliances because a tiny spark could ignite the gas. Then you will have a big boom. If the power is out, unplug major appliances to prevent possible damage when the power is turned back on. If you see sparks, frayed wires, or smell hot insulation, turn off electricity at the main fuse box or breaker. If you have to step in water to turn off the electricity, don't. Instead, call a professional to turn it off for you. Please work towards minimizing further problems. Stay off the streets. Keep the streets clear for the passage of emergency vehicles and equipment. Do not use the telephone unless there is an emergency. Do not flush your toilets until water and sewage lines have been checked for damage and blockages. Stay away from beaches and waterfront areas, as tsunamis are likely to occur after an earthquake. Stay away from earthquake-damaged buildings, as they may fall during an aftershock. Stay away from steep or landslide-prone areas. If there's an electrical power outage, use the foods in your refrigerator or freezer before they are spoiled. Do not consume foods that are stored in open containers, as shattered glass and other debris may have fallen into them. If glass and other debris get into stored drinking water, Strain the liquid through a clean cloth, such as an handkerchief, before drinking. Use coal stoves or barbecues for emergency cooking. Use water heaters, canned fruits and vegetables. Melted ice cubes as emergency sources of drinking water. Listen to your radio for safety advisories and other relevant information. Cooperate with all public safety and relief organizations. Stay in communication. Send information about the earthquake and aftershocks to the Earthquake Unit at the University of the West Indies and the Mines and Geology Division to help earth scientists understand earthquakes better. This has been our review of earthquakes, not just in Jamaica, but across the Caribbean and across South American regions as well. Now, we have also provided you with some very, very important tips. The important tips are for you to stay in communication, for you to ensure that you have safe food and safe water for drinking and eating. Also, ensure that you move towards minimizing further problems after the earthquake by staying indoors. Also, there are tips given for after, before, and during the earthquake. Now, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please stay safe and remember to practice safety at all times. Remember to also practice your earthquake drills. Abide by the safety rules. And if you need more, do your research or come back to the Learning Academy. Also, feel free to contact your local offices for ODPEM or go to the main office. Make a call and seek further details. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching the Learning Academy. This has been our review of earthquakes.